Do the numbers just speak for themselves, or is there some kind of other motive for the filing at this time, Joey?
No correlation at all, Mike. You kidding? I'm being sarcastic, obviously.
Like 100 million each fight.
I would think close to $1 billion.
He probably is, but he spends like a mother. He probably has like a couple $100 million in jewelry.
This is what Floyd writes on his Instagram. Believe half of what you see and none of what you hear, especially when it comes to the media in this country.
Floyd Mayweather, once proudly claiming he'd earned over $1.2 billion in his career, is now reportedly on the verge of financial collapse, according to a shocking CNN report. Despite showing off luxury jets, mansions, and million-dollar watches, insiders say his reckless spending, bad investments, and growing legal costs have drained his fortune. Sources reveal he's quietly selling off assets to pay down debt, with some even saying bankruptcy could be near. For some,
everything ends up this way. Well, everything does end up this way because people are surrounded by other people who make 10%, 20%, 5% on what the other guy brings home. So people are incentivized to push people to keep scaling and keep going and all eat when you eat. But I think it's very important for people to stand up and say, you know what? I don't think this thing needs to be that big. I don't think the valuation needs to get here.
Mayweather once stood at the top of the financial world in sports, reportedly bringing in between $1.20 and $2 billion from fights, endorsements, and appearances. But just as fast as he earned it, he blew it. Instead of saving or making smart financial choices, he acted like the money would never stop coming. From gold-covered jets to entire collections of exotic cars, he lived to be seen as the richest and flashiest. But now, the same habits that earned him the nickname Money have left...
He's up there, bro. He's probably got to be at least 400 million. I mean, some of the purses from his fights are like 100 million each fight.
I would think
shit.
Close to $1 billion.
He probably is, but he spends like a... He probably has like a couple $100 million in jewelry. Have you seen like videos of his jewelry?
Yeah, some crazy. Let me see. Let me see what his net worth is. Mayweather net worth.
Them Googles be lying though. Huh?
They be lying? You think?
I think so. It's probably not accurate. I mean,
all right, let's see what they say. I mean, exactly what you said. It says an estimated $450 million.
Yeah.
Richest boxer in the world. It's a lot of money.
Mayweather made headlines not only for staying undefeated, but also for the jaw-dropping amounts he earned per fight. He reportedly made over $250 million from the Manny Pacquiao fight, and a similar amount from his bout with Conor McGregor. He was often ranked as the highest-paid athlete in the world, but instead of building long-term wealth, he spent wildly. Huge parties, jets for his entire crew.
Floyd Mayweather, the highest paid athlete, not the highest paid boxer, the highest paid athlete in the world. I had the opportunity and pleasure to be around him for many years. I was his personal shopper. I was a personal friend of his family. One of my greatest memories of being just lucky enough to even be around that environment is watching him train. Watching Floyd Mayweather train is a masterclass in discipline. It is a masterclass in work ethic. It is a masterclass in this is how you execute and get stuff done. Every rep, he hits it hard. There's not one lazy rep. He does everything at such a high frequency, so elevated. I'm like, goodness gracious, watching this man train, it's like, that's how I want to train for life. I've been to the club with Floyd where we leave in the club 3, 4 in the morning and he's still going to hit his 6 miles. He'll have all the cars follow him and he's running down the Las Vegas Strip, down back streets.
His money problems go beyond just overspending. Floyd has been tied to multiple legal issues connected to questionable business deals. In 2022, he was part of a class action lawsuit involving a crypto scheme many called a pump and dump. Though that case was dropped, it showed his tendency to dive into risky, hyped-up deals. Then in 2024, he was sued for allegedly telling his bodyguard to assault someone. The man sued him for over $3 million. These cases show how unstable and risky...
How do you explain all that? How did that happen in your life?
Well, things happen. You know, I had 3 children with a young lady. We wasn't seeing eye to eye. We wasn't seeing eye to eye. She was a little upset, had a little alcohol in her system. She was a little edgy, and I told her, basically I needed the keys to my truck. She was upset. She didn't want me to take the keys to the truck. So things got got out of hand and blown out of, they blow things up bigger than what things are really made out to be. So things happen.
But nevertheless, you had to do 2 months, right?
Yeah, I did 2 months for a misdemeanor, yes.
So what is it like to have everything and then not have freedom?
That's what I come to find out. Freedom is very important. Freedom is very, very important. And I'm just, I'm happy to be free. I'm happy to be back, in my children's life.
Have become 5. Joe Rogan, never shy about his opinions, has openly criticized Mayweather for what looks like a disregard for paying taxes. Rogan warned that no matter how rich you are, skipping out on taxes can lead to serious trouble with the IRS. He's right. Many wealthy people have fallen because of this. Rogan believes Floyd's flashy lifestyle might be hiding bigger financial problems.
He owed that money to the IRS. How much does he owe?
It's in the $20+ million range.
It's a lot of money, man.
But it's not something that he's been, it's not like deception.
No.
It's just neglect to
it's
pay.
Neglect. And it's also like, I think, and there is like a truth to this. He makes so much money that there's probably a point when they're like, hey, it's time to pay your taxes. And you go like, all right, here's a check for $25 million. That's an incredible amount of money. And then they go, that's true, but you owe 50 more. And he's just like, that can't be right. I've given you $25 million.
Yeah, he's bought over 100 luxury cars from the same dealer and always pays in cash.
He has $15 million worth of cars.
Congrats. You can sell those.
Mike Tyson also made hundreds of millions during his prime, only to file for bankruptcy after years of out-of-control spending. Tyson bought Tiger's huge homes and even a gold bathtub. Now, it looks like Floyd is making the same mistakes. Like Tyson, he shows off his cars, jewelry, and houses. But behind the scenes, his
It's your main man, Made Man, back at it again. And y'all know how I get down over here. We talking boxing. Now, I am fresh off watching episode 1 of the All Access of the upcoming fight between Floyd Money Mayweather and Marcos Maidana. Now, a lot of people may have gotten a lot of things from watching that episode. It was real flamboyant. We seen Floyd Mayweather tossing his money around as always, talking about the Miss Jackson situation. We seen Marcos Maidana looking focused, more so focused on his baby and everything. So those are a lot of the minor takeaways. But my major takeaway from this whole thing, ladies and gentlemen, is I was quickly hit with a emotion of nostalgia. You know what I mean? Because seeing Floyd Mayweather with all this money and cars and clothes and hoes and yada, 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 it just kind of reminded me. There was a small segment in that episode that stated that a lot of fighters believe in their immortality. You know what I mean? We've seen this before. So the question I ask, we have seen this movie before. Boxers traditionally going broke. They start off well, so flamboyant with all this money and all these cars, and they have businesses they invest in. There's something special, at least in their minds they are. And then after either retirement or near retirement or after the fight game has left them, traditionally boxers go broke, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm not saying this is going to happen to Floyd Mayweather, but I swear on everything, man, I hope it doesn't happen to Floyd Mayweather, because Floyd Mayweather is going to go down in the halls of history, ladies and gentlemen, as possibly top 3 to top 5 to top 10 of all-time greats. I mean, depending on how you view Floyd Money Mayweather. But however, he is definitely the #1 boxer of my era, ladies and gentlemen, of my time on this earth of watching this sport of boxing. No one has the skill set of Floyd Money Mayweather. Carve it up, chop it up how you like. Get on the debate about his opponents, all this other crap. We can have that for another video. But this man is going to go down in history as an all-time great without a doubt. And I understand the argument for those who may even present the argument that he's the #1 greatest of all time. I see valid points in that argument. I don't agree with that, but I see valid points in that argument. This is a great boxer. We are going to miss Floyd Money Mayweather when he leaves the sport, ladies and gentlemen. But the fact remains.
Oddly enough, Floyd often talks about being smart with money, even mentioning strategies like buy low, sell high when it comes to real estate. But his actions tell a different story. No one questions Floyd's skills in the ring. His defense, timing, and fight smarts made him a legend. Retiring undefeated is something only a few can claim. But being great in sports doesn't mean you're wise with money. His discipline in boxing doesn't match how he
People hate consistency when it comes to teams that you don't like and not a fan of, and they constantly win all the time. The Patriots went through the same thing. Small example. I'm gonna just take boxing for instance.
Right.
Floyd.
Yes.
Everybody loved when Floyd was winning early in his career.
Yes.
But when he kept winning,
Yes.
he became the villain.
Yes.
And then everybody paying in and tuning in to see him lose.
Right.
That's it. He became the villain.
Even his uncle, Jeff Mayweather, has spoken out about Floyd's financial behavior. In an honest interview, Jeff said he doesn't understand Floyd's decision-making anymore, especially when it comes to money. Floyd jumps into business deals without thinking them through, more out of pride than planning. His claims about massive real estate deals raise questions among—
I have no idea. I mean, like I said, I don't necessarily see Floyd very much. So we don't really get a chance to talk very much. And so I don't really know what's going on. I know he's doing things that, you know, to better his life, like, you know, buying homes and buying, you know, different things. And so, I mean, I don't know exactly what he's doing. So, I mean, I haven't seen him in quite some time. And I haven't heard about him talking about doing any more exhibitions. Maybe he will, maybe he won't, I don't know. But I haven't heard anything.
I know the KSI's team would be happy to make their fight with him.
who know how risky that market can be. 9. Floyd's troubles with the IRS are another huge warning sign. Reports say federal agents once told him to sell off property and pay his taxes. Ignoring advice like that is financial suicide. When the IRS starts coming after your stuff, it means something has gone very wrong. Floyd's—
I'm at least back reporting. You guys all seen the headline saying Mayweather needs money, Mayweather has problems, Mayweather needs Conor McGregor. Well, the truth couldn't be further. Let me tell you, Floyd Mayweather just posted this on his Instagram, and I know it's true because anyone who was around Floyd Mayweather back after the Pacquiao fight in 2015 saw Mayweather with the $26 million paycheck for the IRS. And this is what Floyd writes on his Instagram. Believe half of what you see and none of what you hear, especially when it comes to the media in this country. While everyone is counting my money and assuming the worst, these are the facts. Uncle Sam received $26 million from me in 2015. What else could they possibly want? I'm sure I would have been notified much sooner if there were any real discrepancies, right? Bottom line, everybody just wants to be part of the Money May show, including the IRS. That's fine. You can crunch numbers all day, but in the end, my empire is rock solid and intact. Now calculate that. Hashtag TMT, hashtag Floyd Mayweather, hashtag TBE.
Eventually, Floyd responded to the tax talk by saying he'd paid the IRS $26 million. But instead of clearing things up, the announcement sparked more questions. Was that the full amount he owed? Was the payment too late? The timing felt more like a PR move than an honest update. Some think it was just a way to quiet growing concerns about his finances.
To them by showing on Instagram $26 million, a payment he made to the IRS. By the way, nothing makes your tax payment look shadier than when you're just holding up cash.
Right.
That's not a good look for the IRS. But he showed his actual, $26 million.
They just pay him. Like, I don't know why, like, he's mad at the media. It's like, oh, you guys are making things up. No, it's leaked that you asked to pay after this fight. Like, you make all this money. If I was Mayweather, not only would I pay them on time, the IRS, I'd tip them. I'd be like, hey, here's what I owe you. Here's a little bit. Get your woman something nice, all right? How was Christmas for your kids? Oh, you're Jewish? Convert just for this Christmas. Here, take care.
Despite all the financial red flags, Floyd recently claimed he invested $42 million into real estate, buying 62 properties in Manhattan with his own cash. He made a point to say he had no business partners, but many don't believe the story. The timing and the size of the deals seem too far-fetched, especially with all the other money trouble.
$2 million. This substantial investment was made through his real estate firm, Vada Properties, and is intended to expand his portfolio in New York City real estate market. Mayweather has expressed that this purchase holds significant personal meaning, reflecting his humble beginnings and desire to provide affordable housing options. He stated, growing up, I used to dream about owning just one home by myself. When you work hard, you can achieve anything. However, it's important to note that while Mayweather has announced this acquisition, some reports suggest that property records do not yet confirm a transfer of ownership. Experts speculate that he may have acquired a minority stake with options for future expansion.
Instead of calming doubts, the announcement made people even more skeptical. If it's true, it shows he's taking big financial risks. Floyd's love for showing off wealth might be his biggest problem. Flashy cars, designer watches, and gold chains are part of a lifestyle he may no longer be able to afford. Insiders say he's spending more than he makes every month. The numbers just don't add up, and with high taxes on top of it all, the problem only grows.
Floyd Mayweather is about to pay $2 billion to purchase a sports team and may never have to pay taxes again. The tax code offers these super wealthy so many methods to erase their income through deductions, and none is better than purchasing a sports team. Buying a sports team is like buying a unicorn real estate property. The value is always going to go up, the owner is going to make money, but on their tax return, they're going to use a strategy to report that they're losing money. See, the owner is actually allowed to write off the entire cost of the sports team against future income. This will allow Floyd to pay less in taxes. It's called amortization, which is very similar to depreciation. But if Floyd ever decides to sell the team, then the taxes will be owed. Who cares then? Because the taxes he was supposed to pay during those years, he's going to take that money, reinvest it for personal profit. See you, Floyd. Hit your boy up if you need help with taxes. My name is Duke, and I make taxes very easy to understand. Give me a follow to stay educated.
Nothing shows Floyd's need to be noticed more than his recent trip to Mexico in an armored tank. While most celebrities travel in private jets or luxury SUVs, Floyd chose something that looked straight out of a war zone. It wasn't practical, it was just to grab attention. Moments like this might go viral, but they also show someone who's lost touch with financial reality.
They got Floyd Mayweather, like...
Well, I didn't say kidnap, but you know, you got your passport taken. You can't come and leave when you want to go, but he ain't in jail, so
okay.
He's out at a 6-star hotel being Floyd, so I guess it ain't that bad, but we'll see. We're going to watch and see like everybody else.
That's crazy. I mean, when you think of Money Mayweather, you thinking like Floyd may have like $1 billion or something.
He did. He made $1 billion plus. Floyd made a lot of money. And I don't really know Floyd's business, so I'm not going to speak on Floyd's business, but Floyd's very, very, as we all the world knows, he's money made, very flashy. Look, man, you know, we both made some real money, but you know, you start burning through, you make $2-3 million a year, you burning through $100,000 a month. You ain't really got that much money.
Shit, he probably spending way more than that.
No, I'm talking regular dudes.
We
say we make $3 million, we burning through $100,000 a month. We really don't got no paper like that saved up.
That's a fact.
So even if he's making $100 million, if he's burning through $5, $6, $7 million a month, you still got taxes, you still got responsibilities. So I don't know nobody's bag, but you know, me and you, we real. We never count nobody paper. So
not at all.
I hope he got $10 billion. And I hope he get out of his problem.
That's a fact, because you would figure he should be able to just cash him out. Like whatever the tab is, you know, he should be able to wire that.
I think he could do that with no problem. I think he got all the money in the world. I think they may not want it.
His collection of watches, worth millions, is another example of his obsession with luxury. His social media is packed with photos showing rows of diamond-encrusted timepieces, each more expensive than the last. Fans may love the shine, but financial experts see a big waste. These watches lose value the second they're bought.
I need you guys to watch me talk about my watches. Right here, I got 3 cases, and they're all full with watches. So when I travel, I like to take, you know, if I'm going for 45 days, I like to take 45 watches with me. I like to have options. So everybody's always asking me, what's your favorite watch? Well, one of my favorite watch brands is &Co. As you can see right here, I got this a few months back, and it's one of my favorite watches. One of the best brands in the world. That's just my personal opinion. I like the brand so much, I went and bought another watch just yesterday, &Co. As you can see, &Co. Now, Let's talk about watches. Let's talk about jewelry. Let's talk about a few things. I need you guys to watch me talk about my watches. So we'll set this to the side. Now, we want to give the people an appetizer or something light. So we give you 2 appetizers, then we give you a main course. Just a few watches that I got while I travel. So check this out. We're gonna go here first. And of course, the company is Avi & Co. Crazy company. Now, I need you guys to come closer and check this out. So let me come to you guys.
His financial situation. 15. Floyd's business track record is just as shaky as his spending. He's always been more interested in quick profit than solid planning. That mindset has led him into failed promotions and shady crypto deals. His business portfolio is full of rushed, risky choices. Real financial success takes careful planning, ethics, and a stable structure, none of which Floyd consistently shows. As more people question his ability to handle money, the fear grows that his financial empire is falling apart. If he doesn't change soon...
Yeah.
I think it was like a $5 or $8 million 5-fight deal or something like that. You have to check the numbers, but he turned that down to start his own promotion. And when he was with HBO, he worked out that deal to do the 24/7, where you can see the behind the scenes. That was right around the time when reality TV was getting big. So you didn't have social media then. People began to build and know Floyd off of the 24/7. I can tell you right now, my wife even became a boxing fan from watching the 24/7s. So the timing of him becoming his own boss, which you're gonna make the majority